Guys, I'm Adam Ray, and you're watching Jim on Base or listening. Either way, it's a home run of a show. Jim. Fuck, I don't know.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Base Show. For today's very special guest, we have on someone who performs regularly at the Hollywood Improv, the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store. He's currently on tour right now as well. He's also been on Mad TV, written for shows like Punk'd. He has his own podcast called About Last Night. He does voiceovers as well. He does it all. Please welcome the great Adam Ray. Adam, how are you?
Awesome, dude. Wow, he's written for Punk'd. I mean, it's always cool to see the credits that people pull for you, because you clearly read a bio and then just picked what you thought was the coolest to say, or how do you decipher what you're going to intro people with?
Well, it's got to be like a compliment too, right? I gotta, make it sound.
Yeah, for sure. Punk'd was myself and Andrew Santino were writing on that. That was supposed to be the new Punk'd that Bieber was going to host when they brought it back. And then there was I don't know if it was a writer's strike or something happened where they basically just canceled the show, and then Bieber dropped out, I think, and maybe that's what did it. And then they brought it back, and then they just were like, we're going to hit the reset button and start fresh with a whole new crop of people. And so Andrew and I spent, 2-3 months writing stunts and pranks and all sorts of things, just from 9 to 7, just throwing darts up against the wall. And it was a great time and a good hang with somebody I've known for, quite some time, but never got to actually be on like a live set for Punk'd, which was kind of a bummer that didn't actually see the light of the day, at least from my end. So thanks for bringing that up so that I could relive something that didn't work out.
We'll scrap that. We'll edit it out.
No, keep it in. Fuck it. We're live.
And you're in Minnesota right now, and it sounds like it's you're in the middle of the Arctic. So
yeah, it's cold as shit, but I'm a Seattle boy. This is all I brought was a light jean jacket, and my mom, much to her chagrin, is not pumped about that, because she thinks that if I go out in like 62 degrees, I'm gonna get hypothermia. So but did fall in the snow twice last night. I do love the every city has their own flavor of weatherman that just fucking overhypes how bad it is. You know what I'm saying? Where they're just like, oh my God, stay inside. Snowmen are coming to life to beat your kids and fuck your wife. We'll teach you how to defeat the snowman 10 out of 10. And it's hilarious, because then it's like, I mean, look, they definitely got 9 to 10 inches, which I think anyone would be happy with. But it's not as crazy as you think. I mean, people are driving around. People also, I don't know if resilience the right word as much as stupid is, as far as like just going out despite, like in LA where I live, when it rains, people are like, you went outside today? How? And you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the ones that do drive and don't think that the weather has changed much drive still as if it's sunny and 85 degrees, which that's the part that is baffling, where you're like, dude, you can't be driving as fast. You need to like have a little bit more of a gap in between. By the way, this is when everyone tunes out. You got to have a gap in between the cars on the freeway to adjust for the rain showers. But that's my weather report, and sports is up next with Jim.
Oh yeah, Jim's here. Well, you're from Seattle, and it's one thing I've always liked about you. You always rock the Mariners hat or the Supersonics T-shirt. So,
dude. There's one rare day I did my my hair, which again my mom is pumped for. I got 2 Supersonics hats that I you're on the road from my boys Simply Seattle, who supply me with all my Seattle gear. They're the one-stop shop. But yeah, big Seattle guy. Started off probably with my Supersonics fandom. Basketball still is my favorite sport, but it definitely, baseball and football, took it over once the Sonics left. Thanks for bringing it up. But in 2007 or 8. But yeah, dude, I've always repped Seattle hard. I truly love where I'm from, and also am very aware of the lack of fanfare that we get from all sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like to rep and be proud of it. But I don't know. It's like everything that I'm doing now, I owe to my mom, my friends, but the Seattle area is where I found my love for truly for comedy because you know uh having a city that you grow up in where you got to be inside a lot of the time. You got to find other ways to keep yourself entertained. And my buddies and I, whether it was, in seventh grade, started making a lot of like weird home movies and sketches and stuff. And that just continued all the way through high school. And, that's why there's so many great hoopers and musicians and comics that come out of the Northwest, especially Seattle, because of that. So I love it for that. I also just love it, as a place to live. I've toyed with the idea of going back for a little bit, but it's just LA. I need to be around the hustle and bustle of the LA scene. I feed off that energy for sure. But yeah, dude, Supersonics, Mariners, Seahawks, Seattle Storm. And what's great is I've gotten to be immersed now in all of the, friends with commentators for, Mariners, Seahawks, players now. The GM for the Mariners, Jerry DePoto's become a homie, and
you did a episode with him in the
a couple of
box,
episodes.
right?
Yeah, Sue Bird, Seattle Storm and WNBA legends, been on 3-4 times. Just had on Doug Baldwin, ex Seahawk, and it's a really cool thing to throw out first pitches and play in celebrity. I played in the celebrity charity game that Cliff Averill, Doug Baldwin, and Mike Bennett, Seahawk legends, put together for their charity Champions of Change. And Marshawn Lynch and Sue Bird were the coach of the opposing team. My team was Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. Jamal Crawford was on the team. Fucking, it was bonkers, dude. And I had, I think, 4 points and 2 assists and 6 turnovers, and a pulled hammy and a pulled calf.
I've had Lenny Wilkins on, as you know, big
Whoa.
Seattle guy. Yeah, always
How do you get these guests? You've had do you just cold call? Do you have a booker or what?
I am the booker, and he picked up and he talked to me for 45 minutes, and great guy.
Wow.
Just call him.
You just fucking called Lenny
I
Wilkins out of the blue?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Who's been the craziest, and then we'll flip this back on me, the best athlete that you were fanning out of? Because I'm sure you fan out to everybody. Your enthusiasm is palpable, but there's got to be one guy or gal that you were like, fuck.
You know what? I got to do a celebrity golf tournament up in Tahoe over the summer.
Is it the one where Kevin Nealon and Charles Barkley are at?
Yeah, we got Charles Barkley. I just put an episode out today with him. Steph Curry was actually, I didn't get to interview him necessarily. I got to talk to him for about 5 minutes, and he gave me a plug for the show. And
very cool. Okay, so interview then. Tell me who's like, that's what I'm asking. Like, what athlete did you get to chat with?
Steve Young. He was the coolest.
Because you're a Bay Area, just
and Greg Maddux.
Yeah.
I just did an episode with Greg Maddux the other day because I'm coming up on my 100th episode. So it's been.
So you just cold called Greg. You cold called Greg Maddux.
Yeah.
Give me your fucking pitch, Jim. I'm Greg Maddux. Ready?
Okay.
Real quick, Greg Maddux story. When I played Wolverine at Universal Studios, and then I was a New York cop, right, walking around with a nightstick. And is this video or just audio only?
It's both. Whatever.
Okay.
But if you don't want me to share, that's fine.
No. That's why I fucking got all dolled up for you, baby. So I'm doing the nightstick thing, walking around. I'm a 1940s cop, walking around Universal Studios. Great job, $23 an hour. Didn't want to wait tables. I graduated acting school at SC, and naturally you become a fake theme park, superhero / 1940s cop. And, most of the other cops would do bullshit like the bathrooms are over there, or they'd go up to a kid with long hair and go blow the whistle and go, get a haircut. Dumb shit. I was really trying to, flex the improv muscle and do bits with everybody, from Dave Matthews to Stamos to fucking Michael Jackson, tried to do some bits with as a New York cop. And he wasn't having it. He was also covered with a shawl. And, but I was like, oh, King of Pop. I was wearing this big Orville Redenbacher mustache. I was like, King of Pop. I was like, King of Popcorn, Orville Redenbacher. You got nothing on that bitch. And he just fucking kept walking. But Maddox, I went up to, and he was licking an ice cream cone, as you do. And I was like, holy shit, we got one of the greats here. We got one of the greats, Gregory Maddox. Can I call you Gregory? Who who's your favorite guy you've ever thrown a strike to? And he just stared at me and he kept licking. And then I go, all right, no, scratch that question. Who's the first guy that hit a double off you? Scratch that question. What's your middle name? Scratch that question. What's your favorite sexual position? Hold on to that question. Go back to the first question. And then he's licking. And he just goes, and he's like, just releases a little bit of a smirk and a smile. And then I just go, dude, I can't be in character anymore, dude. I'm just gotta tell you I'm a big fan. And I came over just to tell you that. And he just goes, oh, he goes, can you break character? I go, yeah, dude, this job is a means to an end. If I get fired for this interaction, that's my story.
Yeah.
And he was very cool. That's awesome that you got to interview him. What did Barkley have to say that really stood out? And then again, we'll turn this back on me.
So I said, hey, are you going to be at the Artie to Party? That's the DJ at night at Harrah's. And I said, what song are you going to be DJing? Because he kind of guest DJs. And he goes, oh, I'm a Frank Sinatra guy. I love listening to the old music. And I said, oh, does that mean you're going to slow dance with Steph Curry tonight? And he kind of looked at me and goes, oh, hell no. Then he walked away. So it was a funny little interaction.
Holy shit. Yeah, funny, awkward, whatever, however you want to replay it
on the audio though.
However you want to replay it in your head, Jim. You made one weird joke about him slow dancing with an NBA great, and he was like, the fuck? And then he walked away, and you're like, it was great, man. We're actually best friends now. You're like, that's how it went down.
He's always shitting on the Warriors. So I was like, I gotta throw one out there,
Dude, I love that. Yeah, he is. Fuck. Well, very cool, dude. All right.
Who's have you met any other Seattle legends? Because you grew up, I imagine, like in the prime of Griffey and Randy Johnson and those guys.
The prime, dude. Met Randy. Very intense. I met him as a child when I was 12 at spring training. Ran up to his little Ford Bronco with tiger stripes on the side, and a bunch of kids were with me waiting for players to come out. Randy pulls up, rolls the window down. We all, like 50, 60 fat kids, just roll up to the window. He rolls it down, and as soon as we all get to the front of his car, he just goes, back away from the vehicle. Sweet guy. And so everyone just goes, and as everyone pulls back, I just like look to the side and then just went yoink with my ball right into his window. He grabbed it, signed it first. And then I was like, thanks, Mr. Johnson. Sorry about these kids. And then just ran away. And then met him at the X Games. My buddy was working the event, and Randy was taking photos, and no one's around. And I'm like, fuck, now I'm an adult. I got to say what up. I'm not going to bring up the spring training incident, but maybe I can connect over me going to USC. He went to USC, spent a lot of time, energy, money supporting him as a kid. Maybe he'll take a quick pic. I go, Randy, dude, give him all that info, the heads up. He goes, I'm not going to take any pictures, man. I go, for sure. And why? And he goes, I don't know. People do weird shit. They like Photoshop my head on like centaurs and dragons. And I was like, sorry, man, I'm a 33-year-old grown adult man. The last thing I want to do is Photoshop Randy Johnson's head onto a fucking dragon's body. But, and if I wanted to do that, I'd do it just with pictures that you got already existing on Google Images. But I hear you. And he's like, I'll sign your hat. I was like, cool. But tall ass dude.
Yeah.
Met Griffey once. Very cool. Would love to chat with him on the potties. Griffey, Kemp, I had Kemp on and Peyton both on the podcast. I interviewed Kemp for 2.5 hours at his weed store. That's on my podcast about last night. It's, out there for you to get. There's a full 2-hour, really fun 3-camera shoot of that with tons of clips and pictures edited through like some sort of NBA TV special. It's really fun if you want to check that out. But Kemp was the man. Him, Peyton, Griffey were the guys growing up. If you're in that zone as I was of like 9, 10 of when those guys were in their prime, in Seattle, truly incredible to watch that.
I didn't get Gary Payton, but I got his son, the second on over the summer. That was cool.
Yeah, he's ripping it up, dude. I mean, I'm bummed that the Warriors didn't want to pay him, but the Blazers did. So Hollywood, baby. But I mean, any athlete that sticks around in a city for a while and does a lot of good, like those guys did. Even Russ, as much as that didn't work out towards, I'm grateful for the 10 years he gave us, and every Sunday mattered. How greedy do you want to be? Like, he helped us win a Super Bowl, it wasn't just the defense. You watch that Super Bowl, he made a lot of great fucking throws and plays, and he was solid. And yeah, I don't know, man. I got nothing but great things to say about Russ. It didn't end at the end. People will say he wasn't a great teammate and all that, but I hope he figures it out, because I think he gets a lot of shit, and some of it is deservingly so. And when you're gonna make weird Subway sandwich commercials or pose on the beach and call yourself Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, he's a little bit of an awkward dude, but he fucking owns it. I wish he could own it more, though, and laugh at himself more. I think he would do himself a huge service by making fun of himself somehow. I think he'd get in the good graces of a lot of people real quick, but I think he takes himself a little too seriously, which you can't do in life, And if you do, you're just going to be you're going to be miserable, because there's too much shit to laugh at and nobody's perfect. And so if you're trying to be, you're trying to swim up shit creek without a paddle, as my mom would say.
Well, it sounds like you stayed loyal through the years, because I was going to ask, when you're in LA, do you become a Clippers fan, a Lakers guy, or
Fuck no.
That's good, because I'm the same way.
I
Giants, Niners,
I
Warriors.
supported the Lakers when the Sonics left, because it was the Kobe Shaq years and they were on every night.
Yeah.
And again, basketball being my favorite sport, it was really fun to watch. I felt like the way I grew up with Griffey and Kemp and Payton, I was like, oof, I'm getting to watch Kobe live every night, like in the prime. I'm gonna soak that up, and I did, and so I'm grateful for that. But it's just different growing up versus my buddy Adam Devine, grew up in Omaha, Nebraska with no pro NBA team, but he's latched onto the Clippers just for I'm not sure the exact reason. I know a lot of the guys. During the Lob City years, Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan were all fans of workaholics. I think that might have had something to do with it, but I always bust his balls because I'm like, you're not a real fan. You're fair weather. You jumped on the bandwagon, baby. You're not even fucking from LA. This ain't your team. But then, he's got really great seats. So then he takes you, and I'm like, dude, go Clippers, man. This is awesome, dude. Thanks, man. They should honor you every game.
See, that's my big thing. Since I'm a diehard Warriors fan, it used to be like a secret society. You go to the mall, you see someone with the Warriors jersey, you got to go say hi. Now you got all these bandwagon fans latching on. So I'm kind of a hater sometimes,
It is a tricky thing when you get, because it's more fun when the whole city rallies around it. So that is an interesting thing to start to get selective, being like, who's our starting center? Who's our backup water guy? And everyone's like, what? But you do want it also sucks when the arena is filled with people that aren't diehards. You got a lot of people that are going because it's a social thing to do, but that's most sports.
The corporate people, the free teams.
Yeah, well, and especially with teams like you guys that are doing so well, you probably do have a nice mix of like fans and rich people that are getting fucked up, but and not that rich people can't go nuts. Their enthusiasm just isn't as raw. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Poor people fuck, dude. I mean, single mom, 4 jobs, fucking, well, soup's got to last 3 days type shit. That's what I was growing up with. Handy snacks for dinner. So it was like, man, if I'm going to a Sonics game and I'm sitting in the fucking second deck, I'm going nuts because I've got all sorts of weird adrenaline just from fucking weird knockoff brand shit that probably has chemicals in it that's giving you a second and third wind. You're like, that definitely wasn't beef in that fucking pot pie, but it's giving me enough juice to scream for Patrick Ewing in his one Sonic just to get up and down the court.
Yeah. Well, I got one deep cut for you on the Mariners.
Please.
Do you remember Russ Davis?
This is a sports podcast, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, though. We're branching
Okay,
out.
great.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're not boring people with
great.
all the sports talk.
Do you remember Russ Davis, though?
Yeah, dude. Third baseman.
Really?
They played Sweet Home Alabama when he came up to the plate. I remember that because he was he looked like a country bumpkin who probably, at that time, if you were to say fucking, hey man, arm the teachers and fucking, hey man, MAGA, I think Russ Davis was flying that flag for sure. But a great bat, thought he was going to be a true rock star for us for a while, but we got him for maybe 2-3 seasons. I think from Baltimore. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so, because he came over to the Giants and he hit 260 something, but his last year I think he hit 18 home runs, something around there, and it just disappeared.
He was good for that. He was good for 20 to 30 home runs, which you take that from anybody. But he was good. And look, he was with us a year. I think it was when I want to say 96, 97, 98.
Right in there.
And in 96, we set the league record for most home runs in a season because we had A-Rod hit like 50, Griffey hit 56. Buhner and Edgar each had 40. Paul Sorrento at first base, I think, had 40.
Yeah. Those are some names.
Joey Cora and Mike Blowers each had 25 apiece. Dan Wilson, our catcher, had 25. And then Russ. So it was that was a special time. What sucked is that we just, our pitching was just, we needed a couple more starters to make any noise. But anytime people want to shit, there's this guy named Mike Salk. He's a morning radio host for Seattle Sports, ESPN. And he's all right. He's very opinionated. He's very, I went on a show once. I got him tickets to a show that I was doing with Bill Burr in Seattle. Fine guy. I'll say that he's a fine guy. Not like fine, like, ooh, he's fine. Like not attractive. He could be to his wife. He goes hard in the paint. I guess I have a problem with anyone who doesn't, not a problem with people who don't do comedy that try to be funny. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with people that think they are funny when they don't do comedy professionally, and they don't acknowledge that they're just, you know what I'm saying? It's also why it's tough to mix sports and comedy because we take sports so seriously. But I digress. He goes hard in the paint on Seattle stuff sometimes, and I'm like, dude, you're not even fucking from here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was dogging on 95 on how the Mariners needed to burst the 20-year drought playoff bubble last year, which we did incredibly. And congrats on getting my boy Mitch Haniger, by the way. He's a sweet dude and a nice bud, and probably gonna be at my shows. Yeah, I'll be at the Punchline March 1st through the 4th in San Francisco, California.
Awesome. I love the Punchline.
Great club. Mitch Haniger will be out there, so come out and get your balls signed, or he'll sign your balls. So Mike Salk was just going hard in the paint on, we need to stop talking about 95, the year that saved baseball in Seattle, where we came from behind, forced a one-game playoff with the Anaheim Angels after being down 13 games, and on like August 15th, we came from behind, forced a one-game, unheard of, won that, came from 2 down to win a 5-game series against the Yankees in incredible fashion. Griffey sliding into home plate in Game 5. Everyone goes nuts. They had Tampa Bay Mariner merch already being printed in Tampa Bay because the Mariners were all but done and moving to Tampa Bay because we sucked. And this season fucking saved baseball in Seattle. And I've been a diehard M's fan from probably 92. I'd say it was when I started to be old enough to really appreciate it. And in 7th grade, my buddies Adam French and John Stevens and I would take the bus from the Albertsons that I would work at in high school, a grocery store. The bus took you all the way down to the Kingdom. We'd take it, we'd get down, we'd leave at like 4:30, get down to the game like 5:30, get a pizza from outside. You could bring shit in, buy $10 tickets, make a poster board sign from the Albertsons I worked at, and bring it into the Kingdom, and always get on Diamond Vision with dumb signs. Like we had a player named Rob Ducey, and we just made a sign that said "Getting Ducey with it." Got on the Diamond Vision, so dumb, and so that season was so instrumental in keeping every season since alive. Like truly, the exact reason for it. And so not getting to the playoffs, yeah, it sucks. But I'm like, I don't know. We have fucking every year. I'm like, we have baseball still, and it's there's always a period where every team gets a chance to kind of ride out something fun. But Salk, again, and sorry to drag this out, was just like, we got to stop talking about 95, man. 95. It was like, we need new memories to replace it with. And he was just like, it's ad nauseum as far as discussing it. He's like, I'm done. It makes me sick to even keep bringing it up. And I was like, dude, you're putting your foot in your mouth, and this is why you're not from here. You couldn't have said it anymore, because if you're from here, you recognize how important that season was and that run at the end there. And anyway, I guess I just wanted to bring up a reason to say how much I dislike that guy.
No, it makes sense. It's Giants, same boat. They were on their way to Tampa. I think they were basically sold, and then Peter McGowan stepped in and saved him. I think that was in '93. So
Boom.
yeah,
Peter McGowan.
you can never
Sounds like
hate on him after that. They saved your team. So
Peter McGowan sounds like a guy that invested in Jamba Juice,
no, he's from
but
Safeway.
fucking close enough, dude. Safeway, that was the rival grocery store to Albertsons in the Northwest. You have Albertsons in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, and they would never hire me. I was put in the application, and it never
What'd you
happened.
do? What'd you have on your background?
I know
Check.
I was like 16 and had no life experience, I guess. So
Did you look like this though?
yeah.
Did you
What is
did
this?
you look like an Ed Hardy model for J.C. Penney at 16?
I was more of a Mervin's model, but
Dude, very funny, Jim. See,
deep cut.
that's Mervin's. By the way, drink 5 if you're playing the Mervin's drinking game at home. Every time Jim mentions Mervin's. Mervin's, for those of you that don't know, is another poor kid, MILF City. Like, you got hot moms that are trying to they're like, I got some new pants from Mervin's. I think the commercials were always like hot moms trying to show off in front of kids, like these pants, and you get some jelly beans. But yeah, that's a deep cut, dude. Wait, yeah. So the Bay Area, I had a girlfriend in college that lived, she went to Moreau Catholic High. She's from the East Bay.
In Hayward. My dad went there.
Maybe your dad is the guy that she banged that she left me for.
Yeah, that's random.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would go up to San Fran quite a bit before shows. Actually, the first comedy show, there's a nice little segue into some a fun story. The first stand-up show I ever saw live was Patrice O'Neal. Wow. First headliner at the Punchline, and who's considered one of the greats. If you know anything about stand-up comedy. If you don't, look him up.
And that was probably before the remodel of Punchline, right?
Yes, this was 2006.
Okay.
Yeah. Patrice has a great special. I was just looking it up. I didn't want to misquote it. Elephant in the Room. Go check that out. R.I.P. He was unreal. And I was 2006. I started stand up in 2007, but I was just on the fence being like, I think I want to jump into this. And then saw that show and was just got the itch. And then, so that's why it was extra special then I featured at the Punchline a bunch for Bobby Lee. It's the first guy to take me on the road. And then to finally get to the headline at the Punchline was really special. Those types of moments, I feel like in life, in any job, you gotta take a beat and take a step back and recognize how cool it is. Cause I was like, man, I remember coming here and being so mesmerized and enamored with, I loved The Room, first of all. And that's why I did a special I have called Read the Room that's on YouTube that was shot there and recorded. And that's just, that'll never not be cool to me because that was where I was like, wow. And when you see something that's so great like that before you have any knowledge or experience in it, I think it's anyone can probably attest. You're overwhelmed, you're intimidated. I definitely was like, man, this looks so fun. But how the fuck, where do I start? How am I going to do this? This feels like a lot of work. And then you just put your head down and just hit the ground running, dude.
Yeah. Did you ever go to a comedy club and kind of wait outside? I heard people do that at the Laugh Factory, on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I did the Laugh Factory open mic once and then stopped because it was, when I went there and Jamie Masada, who, now that's as much of a home club as the Comedy Store and Improv for me. But when I did the open mic there, I signed up. You get 3 minutes. I went on stage. There was maybe 8 people in the audience, all comics, maybe a few people that were just outside that didn't know any better, that went to a show at 5 p.m., and Jamie, the whole thing was that you perform for 3 minutes and then you go upstairs and Jamie gives you feedback. And I remember doing a couple jokes. First joke was this feels a lot like my Little League games because my dad's not here. Got a laugh. And then I go, yeah, I was a pretty big fat kid growing up. Wasn't all that bad though. I was the first one in the 4th grade to get a set of tits. Charged my friends $5 to fill me up. And then I go upstairs and he goes, oh, buddy, great, funny stage presence. But buddy, he's a Persian Jew. And he goes, buddy, you kept talking about, look at me with my fat fuck tits and come fuck my tits with your big chocolate dick and fuck my butt tits, squeeze my butt cheeks together to look like tits and butt fuck them and with my tits and your dick. And I go, oh God, that's not at all what I said. Fuck. How do I tell you, the owner of this club, that you're butchering what I just did up there and making it sound like I'm insane? And I was like, but I did just kind of pause. I don't feel like that's what I. And he goes, Badi Badi, I watched it, I heard it. And I was like, up there, but come fuck my butt tits. And I was like, yeah, Jesus. All right. Agree to disagree, I guess. And so he goes, come back in I'm going to, jokingly exaggerate, 8 months. It was like, come back in 5 months, I think. Do a new 3 minutes clean. And I was just like, 5 months? What the fuck? I was like, well, I'm not going to just wait and come back here. I need to find other open mics. And then I found the Haha in North Hollywood. And I met a guy on a show, and he goes, you're pretty funny. Because I always did I did plays and musicals from high school all the way through college at SC, and then a couple plays after. And then I didn't want to keep doing plays because they took up a lot of time and energy, and I wanted to really dip my foot in a bunch of different pools post-college in 2005. And so I was working at a casting office and doing YouTube sketches and still working at Universal and doing open mics at night. Circuit was starting in 2007, but I wanted to just do it all. And if I was in a play, I was just going to be locked in for hours, and I didn't want to do that after the few that I did post school. But I loved being on stage. So the live fix is what I was still really interested in. And I always wanted to kind of do stand up in the back of my head. SNL was always kind of something that, by the way, I'm in my hotel room and I heard a noise and I don't know why. I thought somebody was opening the door. And do you ever like open the door to the wrong Uber sometimes? And the Uber driver's like, who are you? Like, that's what I just felt like as I opened the door, or as I turned. I thought I heard someone opening my door. And my first instinct always when a door opens that shouldn't open is someone's coming to kill me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I would assume like knife.
You're going to die. Yeah.
In a hotel. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it rhymes with Crown Chase Beats.
I'm going to have to think that one through. That's pretty good.
Nice. Okay. I'm glad you couldn't pick up on it. Also, this will come out when I'm already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who knows? You might get some stalker that comes back to like, pull a pube out of the bed sheets. So, by the way, that's a Judy Blume book that nobody ever wanted to publish. Pube in the bed sheets. She was like, come on. It's like James and the Giant Peach. They're like, no, it's going to be a no for us, Sharks. So, what was I talking about? Mike Salk. No.
Yeah. Came back.
What was I talking
5
about?
months, found the Haha.
Came back, found the Haha, met this guy. He goes, dude, you're pretty funny. And again, I was building up to say that all the stage presence from plays, I was comfortable on the stand-up stage. Now it's just the writing and stage presence and your point of view that takes time to build, right? And now I'm 16 years in, so I feel pretty comfortable and confident to handle, crowd work things, which, there's billions of crowd work videos on my YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all that. But getting, to when something happens, you have, how you feel about it, because you need an emotional connection to what you're talking about, so people can, find a reason to connect with what it is when they don't know who you are.
Well, how do you do that with the crowd work? Because do you just do that over years and eventually your wits get quicker? Because it seems.
I think so. I think I've always been a pretty good listener, not in relationships, but the amount of times my wife has to be like, "What did I just say?" And I'm like, "Please don't do that. Please." I spaced out. But actually, she quizzed me last night over FaceTime, and I had moved on, and then she was like, "What did I just say?" And I said it, and I got it exactly right. And I was like, "Let's fucking go."
Soulmates.
Yeah, I did exactly. Yeah. When you first start doing crowd work, you're not listening. You're like bummed that there's silence and no laughter. So like, if I'm like, "Oh, Jim, where'd you get that shirt?" And then you start responding, in my head, I'm like, "Fuck, what do I say? What do I say? What do I?"
Yeah. Instead
of being comfortable enough to
be in the
sit
moment,
and listen, gather some, and make it funny. That's a very scary, uncertain thing to do on stage, where people are just looking at you, waiting for you to be funny, and you're just kind of, there's just silence and there's not laughter. But I'm genuinely curious in people, and I think I just got to a place, where I know questions to ask, and I don't know. It's like there's the shit. As soon as I ask something, there's 3 or 4 things that I just see as far as like what, almost like choose your own adventure. And so not easy, I would say. It's gotten easier because it's just like anything. The more you do it, like last night, I had 4 or 5 really great pockets of things throughout the whole show, which is what Patrice O'Neal, when I went and saw him live, did, which I loved. And I was like, that's the type of show I want to do, where you've got your material and you kind of conversationally weave in and out from material to crowd work, and then tie in the crowd work stuff even throughout the show, which I do almost every night somehow. And it's really fun. It's really fun for the crowd.
Yeah, what's your
I
mindset on that? Like, do you kind of always go for people in the front row? Do they have to stand out in
Depends
a
on the
certain
room.
way?
Depends on the room. Like the Acme Comedy Company that I'm at here in Minnesota is been around for 30 plus years, and it's where Swartzen started, Nick Swartzen, and real intimate room, holds about maybe 260, and you can see a good chunk, like to maybe 10 rows deep, maybe a little bit more. Other clubs a little bit more. Punchline same way, you can see about 5-6 rows deep. I like that. I love that intimacy, not only for the crowd work opportunities, but I like people right up on you because it feels like one big hang. And look, I've gotten to do a lot of cool theaters and Radio City Music Hall, and I'm going to do a couple arenas with the Impractical Jokers this April, and those are awesome too. But really, something cool about looking into people's eyes, and you can see them as you're going, and you get a good gauge too. And I like also clocking. Like there's a guy last night I was clocking, and he was laughing at a lot of stuff, and there's a few things that he was a little more subdued on, and then I kind of checked back in with him, and then afterwards he turned out to be like a huge fan of my podcast and had never seen me live, and was really, and I was like, fuck. And there's this dumb joke that comics that is like almost like a throwaway cliche thing, where it's you meet somebody that during the show maybe wasn't giving you a lot, and then afterwards like, I had a blast. And then I think the first time I heard somebody say it was Jeff Ross, where he was like, to tell your face about it that you had a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's truly a roll the dice each night, and that's why I like it.
Have you done arenas before?
A couple with Dane Cook, maybe about 3 years ago.
Does that make you a little nervous, or are you kind of past that these
Not really.
days?
It's all once you get that first laugh.
Mm.
Radio City Music Hall was 10,000. I did Red Rocks, that was 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Once you get that first laugh, you just kind of settle in. But it is a little different. You definitely got to pace yourself a little bit. In a different, in a way that's allowing for the laughs to kind of catch up. You can't just kind of plow through things because, well, you shouldn't, because people with that many people, it's not as tight as a collective giggle that maybe a 250 room would do.
Well, I saw you recently got your picture on the wall at the Improv. So is that kind of a bigger deal than the Comedy Store? Because they seem to have a lot more photos. Improv seems a little bit more, I don't know, exclusive in a way.
Yeah. Improv than the Comedy Store?
Yeah, like because I go to the Comedy Store, there's pictures all over. Improv seems a little bit more selective who they have on the wall.
Yeah. Comedy Store has all the paid regulars up, and then obviously paid regulars' names on the wall, which is very, sorry, boring myself with my own fucking story. You get your name on the wall at the Comedy Store. That's very prestigious, and the only place that does that. That's Improv putting the pictures up.
Once it's up at the Comedy Store, do they ever take it down, or once it's up, it's there?
No, unless maybe you do something really fucked up. But but even then, I don't. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, the Improv a little more selective, so it was cool. And I mean, I've been going there since I started, and yeah, very cool. Just those little things are always like not cool, and it's not like you do it for them, but it is a place I've given so much time and energy to, and extra cool when like friends will come into town. It's extra cool that my picture's next to like Taylor Tomlinson, Sebastian Maniscalco, and I think Fortune Feimster and Greg Fitzsimmons, and so that's cool. And when you get friends or family coming into town and they're like, whoa, and bubble, and see your name on the wall, it is cool. And it was getting my name on the wall at the Comedy Store, huge deal. Seeing the picture of the Improv, like, definitely was like, no way. Like, nobody told me. I just saw it one day. And yeah, if you got to geek out about that stuff a little bit, because it's, again, you get so into the rigmarole of the business that you almost got blinders on for cool shit that you're passing along the way, because you're like, I got to get to this exit, and then you get off of that exit and you're like, fuck, it's not what I thought. You're like, all right, get back on the freeway. I've never used that analogy before. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It's deep. Well,
Fuck you, Jim. You know what, dude? Don't patronize me.
No, I'm serious. When you started off though, were you one of the hosts, kind of hosting the show, introducing the
Yeah,
comics?
yeah. I definitely at the Haha, they gave me I would host there sometimes, but they would give me regular spots, which was cool because I was a couple of years in, but on weekend shows. And that was instrumental because I was just doing open mics aside from that. Once I got about 5, 6 years in, I started hosting even 3, 4 years in, I guess, at the Improv a lot, just to get stage time. Like there was a show called Comedy Juice, and my buddy Assad ran it for a while, and he always needed a host, and I had good energy, and it was a great way to just get stage time and be on cool shows and meet people and just start to be around the club in a fashion that wasn't just the open mic. Do you know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I remember I hosted this one night. It was, man, Dane Cook in his prime, Jim Gaffigan, Greg Giraldo, one of my favorite comics when he was alive, and Chris Porter, and fucking Bobby Lee, and Daniel Tosh, and man, Sarah Silverman. I want to say Leno even popped in. It was a bonkers lineup. And I'm bringing up Gaffigan, and the guy before me was doing too many bits. He'd gotten the light. He was running the light, and then he kept trying to do one more bit, which all comics have done at some point or do still too much, where you just like, get off, dude, cash in your chips. But they're like, either they didn't get the laugh they wanted and they want to get one more thing in, or they're loving the crowd and they're like, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm like this. I don't want to get off. And so he's doing that, and the crowd's just like starting to turn. He could have gotten off a few times, and then he just kept doing more things, and then there's a few extra things. Then at that point he was just like, I'm gonna dig this fucking hole until I fall into it. And Gaffigan was next, and he looks over to me and he goes, if he keeps doing this, he goes, if he keeps bombing due time, like if this doesn't go well, basically. And I was like, gotcha, Jim. Meanwhile, I'd done the 10 minutes that I had. I didn't have any other jokes that I was comfortable doing. I was like, fuck, do I redo my dumb NyQuil joke, or do I just do crowd work? I'm not comfy with that yet. So he's continues to, well, it's not going well. Jim leans over. He goes, due time. It's like, you got it, man. I go up there. I can't remember what I did. I riffed something about, man, people saying that like you're gay, like everybody saying that gay marriage affects him. Like everybody was like, I don't want gays to get married. Like it affects me. It affects me. I go, dude, unless they're fucking on top of you while you're sleeping, how is it affecting you, or something like that? Really dumb. Got the same reaction you're giving me right now, just blank stares. And it gets a split laugh, 20%. And then I go, all right, anyway, so who's ready for more comedy? And Jim, and I get him going, and people I even kind of gave a beat, and I was like, sorry guys, I was trying to get the energy going. I think I actually, did the inverse. That didn't get a laugh. And then I bring up Jim Gaffigan, and he comes up and he goes, you tried. And he shook my hand with a big smile. But I actually was just DMing with him a few weeks ago. It's about doing the podcast next time he's in LA. That guy's one of my favorites, truly. It was when I first started, and I would drive to see my dad in Laughlin, Nevada. It was about 4.5 hours from LA. I would go to Amoeba Music on Sunset and buy, when CDs were still a thing, and buy shit tons of stand-up CDs and just listen to them nonstop from to fill the downtime. And just, 4 specials would get me through the drive. I mean, from Ray Romano to Patton Oswalt, David Cross, one of my favorites, Seinfeld, Robin Williams, Gaffigan, Brian Regan. Yeah.
I was able to have Ray Romano on.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was really cool.
A walk and talk, or did you just sit down in your car?
We were walk and talk on the golf course from hole to hole. It was pretty neat.
For how long?
It was like 5 to 7 minutes. And I
So,
said,
okay, so some episodes are 5 to 7, some are longer.
Yeah, most of them are like sit downs like this. But
gotcha.
At the term, I was able to get some cool names. And I called it Everyone Loves Raymond on accident. And yeah,
cool.
Yeah, he caught me. He busted me for that.
Yeah, it's everybody. It's all right. People.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, the show. Yeah, it's an easy mistake. It's not if you do your research, but it's not like I wrote for Punked or anything like that. But it's,
you're getting me on that one. You got me.
That's a great get though. That guy, man. The story of how he got that show is pretty sweet. I don't know if he shared that. What did you guys talk about?
actually one of the shows he bombed on. He brought
Cool.
the vinyl, and he talked about a sex scene he got to have,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, so that was kind of funny. And
Cool.
then talked about some bad golf stories and how bad of
Yep.
a golfer is. So he had a good sense of humor about it.
Oh, sorry. That was a real yawn. But that's nothing to do with you, Jim. Don't
Yeah.
take that personally.
Well, one
That
thing
was,
I wanted to ask about was you've worked with Adam Carolla, David Spade. Were those some of the guys that you talked about? Jim Gaffigan, Bobby Lee taking you on the road. Were there any other names that maybe kind of liked you as a new guy and gave you a break?
yeah, Harlan Williams.
Oh wow, I love him. He's hilarious.
He's
I want to get
a
him on the show.
great dude, a great friend. Yeah, he's a beast of a guy. He, yeah, great dude. I've been a fan forever. Met him in Seattle. Got to host for him at a club out there. We had a blast. Kept in, saw him back in LA. Started kicking it. Did my podcast a bunch. Became cool, and then he started taking me on the road, and that's how you up any friendship, is to be out of LA and away from all the distractions, and have to either kick it or not kick it. But he's been real sweet and nice source of advice when I need it. Yeah, man, Bobby really really it. My buddy Sal Volcano right now has taken me on a bunch of his theater shows, and that's another super funny, super generous dude. And Carolla, yeah, I mean, when Brad Williams and I were doing About Last Night together, now it's just me solo. Brad introduced me to Carolla. He was a fan of them and would go on a bunch, and so he got me into that world. And Adam and I hit it off, and yeah, I mean, I think I've been guest of the year twice, and it's been now 10 plus years going on. I'm going on again next week. I try to go on every month or 2 months, but a lot of people listen to that show, didn't realize. So I get a lot of people come up to me at shows that say, Carolla sent me here or whatever, which is cool. But it's the comedy community is more supportive than not, but it's also very competitive, and yeah, and it's cliquey for sure. And even as much as New York comics will maybe shit on LA ones, it's like, man, a lot of great opportunities come from LA that you get and don't get in New York, but also New York has just as much of a clique. It's just a part of any sort of cool kids thing, or like you just get these pockets of
like a fraternity.
Yeah, totally. And but more often than not, more comics than not are very cool with each other. And I mean, even Gaffigan, who I don't know super well, introduced himself to me when I met him at the Comedy Store, and said that he was just talking about me in some conversation, whatever. And then I felt like I had the door open to ask him to do the pod, and he had been potted out at that point. But that's what's cool about it, is that when you do meet certain people, I mean, fuck, John Mayer, who I'm a huge fan of, hit me up on Instagram from a crowd work video I did at the Punchline, and just was like, "This is brilliant, bravo." Then we started chatting for 2-3 hours, and now we're homies. And it's like that social media can really be, wacky and fascinating and cool in that fashion, and also very imperative for the promo part of what we do, and also super fucking annoying. I mean, I don't know, just having to post. I have to remind myself to post TikToks or.
Yeah, you're posting all those? I've always wondered, because you're always coming
I do
content.
everything. I mean, I got a buddy that makes the clips. I go through and pick. I mean, a bunch of clips I pulled from last night's show. I got to do that with my shows from Portland last week. I get all the clips and then decide. I could probably use a little more help as far as like when and to post stuff, but it's just another thing to pay somebody for. So you just, and then there's sometimes I'll post something at 2 a.m. and it'll get 10 million views, and then other times you post something at the time you're supposed to do it, and I'm like, I think I'm getting fucking shadow banned right now. So
Yeah, what is the time you're supposed to post it?
There's something. There's an algorithm guide, more or less. It's like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Monday is supposed to be pretty good. But I don't know. I just try to keep it moving.
Well, I love your stories. You always post photos of people coming on the plane, and you compare them to people.
Oh, celebrity plane sightings.
Yeah. Do you ever get caught taking a picture of someone? Or
I have. I've been caught. Well, people have straight up seen me 3 or 4 times as far as getting caught, I've had people DM me and say I'm honored to make the list that are fans that follow me, and then people that have come up to me at baggage claim and taken pictures with me and been like, and then I always go, dude, I'm so sorry, I'll take it down if you want, and they go, no, it's hilarious. Didn't know I was going to make the cut, and I did have the only time someone's asked me to take, or not asked me to take it down, but been pissed, was a girl in the Atlanta airport had a backpack with a cat that looked like Dr. Evil cat, like shaved completely. And it was in a bubble boy backpack that was like see-through. And the cat, it wasn't soundproof because the whole time the girl's walking around baggage claim, the cat's like, and he's being like, I'm a fucking cat, I suck. And not a fan of cats, obviously. And so
no, I'm not. I don't like them.
No judgment if you are. Cats to me are just, I don't know, man. Like,
get a dog, you know.
Get a dog. What are you doing? Do you? Yeah. And the argument for cat is so ridiculous, where they're like, "Oh, it's great because it doesn't need anything from you, and it can just, you can live for like a week or a year, and it just dies, and you get a new one." And you're like, "What?" And you're like, "Yeah, just you don't. There's no commitment. There's no love. There's no connection. You know."
It seems that they hate you. You know.
They hate you, dude. They're just waiting for you to crumble so they can just start chomping on your skin. They're plotting your death. It's like you basically brought in, a burglar / silent killer, and
just waits.
Also not cute. Their claws, fucking those. My sister's cat. Maybe I'm just traumatized. Fucking got me one night. I was just looking at it weird too. It's like I didn't even do anything. I just looked over at it. I might have been taunting it. I'll take that back. I think it was maybe 5th grade. I looked over and it started it. It was like, and I was like, fuck you looking at? Fucking all of a sudden I turn over and it's just sitting on the couch next to me, and I look over and it just goes, and fucking sliced my face, shredder style. And that was a sad Hanukkah. But yeah, I think that the more you what were we talking about?
Cats.
Before that.
The taking pictures of people on airplanes and
yes,
get a dog. Yeah.
Woman had a cat in the backpack. It's freaking out. And and so I took a video, or I think a video or a picture, and said, like, I made some snarky comment, and it started getting tons of engagement, right? Comments and likes, and she then commented on it because somebody must have people. That's a crazy thing. Like, people that are friends with her probably followed me, which is how it happened. So then people are commenting and then tagging her, and I was like, oh shit. And then she commented like, blah blah blah. The cat is fine. She loves it. You can't just tape people without their consent, whatever. So then I was like, fuck. And my buddy was like, yeah, dude, if she caught it, like, take it down. And like, she's, but that being said.
Yeah. Well, you got your own podcast.
Yeah.
You've had, you had Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey's done it about 8
years.
Yeah. Some of the bangers that I try to pitch people with, Sandra Bullock, Bill Burr, Sebastian Maniscalco, Jason Derulo, Neil Patrick Harris, Melissa McCarthy, Susan Sarandon, Tony Danza, Lisa Kudrow, Mark Maron, again, all those Seattle heroes.
Well, who of them, like, do you have a dream guest still? Someone that you're kind of
Tom Hanks, man. Okay. Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors ever, and I'd love to chat with him. Also, Denzel, also Robin Williams, also Larry David, also Dave Matthews, also Ben Folds, also
John Mayer. He'd be good.
John Mayer would be great. He just went on the Call Your Daddy podcast, and so I don't know how much of a torch I hold to the gal that interviewed him, but that would be a good one. Some of the chats we've had just about music and comedy, I think, would really translate to a full pod. But it's it's mostly comics, musicians, and actors, and but got some good ones coming up that I'm pretty pumped on. So,
are you able to share any or no?
Wayne Brady, Gene
cool.
Smart from Hacks, Adam Devine's coming back. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Joel McHale. He's been on a few times. He's going to come back on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that drops every Monday on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. About last night, had on Matthew McConaughey. That was cool.
Yeah, he seems like a real laid back, down to earth guy.
Big thumbs up on that guy.
Okay.
Thoughtful, intelligent, articulate. if halfway through the pod he just grabbed a hold of me and was like, "Yo, let's get out of here," I'd be like, "All right, all right, all right."
Green light. Well,
Green light. Oh man, you read his book?
I have not yet. Have you? It's always
Pretty
in the
good.
airport. I'm always see
I'm,
it there.
I'm halfway through the audio
Okay.
version. Because I don't see why you read a book that he did the audio for, because you're gonna hear his voice in your head. Why wouldn't you just fill it with the real voice? You know.
Yeah.
But he's been through some shit, and he's just like, green light. Every day I wake up with a smile on my face and a smile on my heart. And you're just like, dude, great opening. I'm in.
I just did the Bono book on audio. It's my first audio book. It's pretty good.
And
It was awesome. And you don't have to read, so you knock it out a lot quicker.
how's Bono's voice to listen to?
Oh, it was great because he was even doing. I don't know if you're a Bono hater. I know some people hate him, but I love you.
Why would I hate him?
Well, I don't know. I don't get the hate for you too, but I love him. And he even did like worked in some music stuff here and there, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great story, Jim. But Bono is, but Bono definitely, I feel like, has lived a life that's worthy of a full feature book.
Yeah, definitely.
Any highlights from that you want to pimp us out to? Well, how would you pitch me on the Bono book? Like, give me.
Oh, actually, yeah. There was a really good opening scene. It's the first chapter when he's getting. He basically had like open heart surgery, and he's reflecting on that. It's kind of like he comes out of his body, looks down on himself. It's actually a pretty dramatic opening first chapter to get you hooked.
Damn. All right. Yeah. I'm into it. Yeah. Does he make any jokes like with song titles? Like he was like, and that's what I still haven't found that I'm looking for.
That's pretty good. No, but he is kind of funny, and I can't remember anything specifically, but he does make you kind of laugh throughout it. And I recommend it. It was a good listen.
It was a beautiful day. She was fun. And look, she moves in mysterious ways. But
oh yeah, so you are a U2 fan a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude, love them.
Have you seen?
What's not to like? I mean, yeah. I couldn't give you the name of their last 6 albums.
Yeah. Their better years are kind of behind them, unfortunately. It seems like so.
Yeah, I love Beautiful Day. I loved when that came out. I think that was 2001. I think I was a freshman in high school then, or I'm sorry, a freshman in college, and that was I remember really being pumped. I saw them live. Not to bring this to a screeching halt, but in 2001, the Staples Center in LA, it was my first concert in LA, and it was right after, truly like 2 weeks after 9/11. So it was when they were doing these really emotional shows and scrolling the names of all the people that didn't come out of that, and that was powerful, dude. But they ripped it. Bono's a great performer, as is Chris Martin. Highly recommend a Coldplay show. And I know that's probably, you're like, yeah, dude, you're a white guy in a jean jacket. Saw that recommendation coming.
I've never seen them live. I heard they're good. They kind of lost me when they got a little like, I don't know, techno-ish almost.
Yeah, but they still fuck it up. I mean, they.
I need to jump back into their.
They turn the lights out. People, there's cool. It's a nice laser light show. They could all be on edibles the whole time. Who fucking knows? But they bring it.
Who's your favorite band then, or favorite artist? Number one.
That's a personal question. The Goo Goo Dolls played my wedding. That was very cool.
Oh, really?
Johnny Resnick did. He's a homie. He flew down and flew out, played 3 songs. It was awesome.
What songs? Because I love them.
See if I'll play a little audio off one.
No Broadway's Dark Tonight. That'd be bad.
Bro, that'd be real bad. Here's
Iris? Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm going to fucking cry. It was awesome. Yeah. He played Iris for our first dance song.
Wow.
And everybody went nuts. And then he played Name, which is my favorite Goo Goo Dolls song, and then Slide. And ripped
Slide.
It, dude. They're great. Was a big fan before and obviously a big fan now. My friend from high school is in a band called The Head and the Heart, and they rip it. And they're honestly one of my favorite bands, and they're all homies now too. And it's just extra cool. And that's not always the case. I have quite a few friends, musicians, or tried. And, it's just like comedy or food, whatever, it's all subjective and you all have different flavors. But
who is he in Head in the Heart?
Well, her name is Charity. She's the girl in the band. But
okay.
but they've all become buds at this point because I've seen them so much and open form a few times. And
Nice.
but they're just great. Anytime multiple people like that on stage that come together and and make that sound, and that's why I'm a big fan of the Dave Matthews Band. If we want to mix it up, I think fucking Hall & Oates rules. I was a big Tupac fan, not just because we have the same birthday.
Oh, nice.
Eminem, I thought was fucking the greatest thing that I'd ever heard in my entire life. That's covering the rap. Country's the one I'm still like, yeah, I don't, you know. Shania, I guess, is cool. Ben Folds. Oh, was that?
I was listening to Shania Twain at the gym today.
Yeah, she's still bringing it.
I was trying to turn it down. I didn't want it to go through the headphones so other people could hear.
Good move, dude.
I was into it.
I went through a Beatles phase in the 7th grade. Billy Ocean, fucking Phil Collins, Blackstreet. Fuck, man.
You got good taste.
Creedence, I loved. Sinatra, tough to not love him.
Yeah.
Tears for Fears. Big 80s and 90s, like, you know, Gin Blossoms, fucking.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Allison Road.
Blind Melon. Yeah, dude. Pearl Jam, obviously. But I was like 12 when the grunge movement in Seattle popped off, maybe actually even 10. And my sister was into gangster rap, and because she was a white girl with boobs, and she didn't really give me the full like musical, like what was going on. So once I got a little older, it just never, I was a little, I wish I realized when it was happening, like, oh, holy shit, like being 8 and being like, fuck, dude, like didn't Pearl Jam pop on the scene in Seattle in 90? I want to say pretty close around then. So to be 8, and I mean, it would have been crazy if I was just like, Yellow Ledbetter is my favorite song. Like,
yeah, what do you got? Easy Street Records up there, right?
Oh yeah,
and
a lot of great studios.
Yeah, Chris Cornell's my favorite guy. One of my favorites.
Man, he ripped it.
I like his solo stuff and Audio Slave better than Soundgarden, actually.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's
take that.
That's my style. But I wanted to touch real quick because you just got married recently. When I initially tried to do the interview, you were on your honeymoon. So,
yeah.
Where were you guys at, and how was that?
Found a spot in Mexico. Probably the greatest week I've had in a long time because I am really bad at taking it easy and shutting it down. And so I really disconnected, which was need to try to do that more than a week a year because life is short and you don't want to be just jamming the whole time and then cut your days, you know, off sooner than expected. But really great. And she's just the greatest. And we just had a great time hanging out together. That was really, really just awesome. And, you know, beach, pool, drinks, bed stuff, fucking massages, facials. I got to hit the gym a little bit, some cool dinners. It was just awesome, man. And she just makes me laugh a lot and I make her laugh a lot, which is great. I've dated girls where it's just one-sided, where I make them laugh a lot, which is great. Because you know, shouldn't be with someone that doesn't have a good sense of humor. But my wife now is just not intentionally funny, but she's always been funny, and in the last few years really opened me up to the fact that she wanted to be a stand-up comedian when she was a kid. And it now makes sense because she's really quick. And I told her the other night, and she was really taken aback at how sweet the compliment was, where I was like, you don't second guess yourself. You like everything you say is funny in the timing of stuff. Like, and you don't stumble. You're not at a loss for words. And it's like the first thing that you think of, I can see that you say, and it's 98% of the time funny, whether it's laugh out loud or like, you know, like what an example, like she said, we were like, you know, making out on the bed or doing whatever. And I think I had this like Tiger Balm patch on. And I was like, and I was turning and I was like, babe, let me get up. My Tiger Balm patch stuck to the pillow. And she goes, oh yeah, talk dirty to me. And I started laughing and I was like, that's so funny. Like and she says too, that being around, you know, me definitely heightens. And because she's now just around so much stand-up, goes to the Comedy Store on a whim just to come and see a great show any night, or the Factory Improv, whatever. She loves it. But to be around it that much, you can't help but, because I'm always trying to be in the bit boat. So she enjoys it. She gets to, you know, kind of contribute on that level. And
so you can test material out on her.
Every now and then, yeah.
Okay.
Every
And is
now
she-
and then, not as much. I like her. Likes to see it live too,
Mm.
but every now and then, yeah. Um,
Is she off limits, like material wise? Can you use her in
no,
your
and
shows?
and and there's not really. I've started to do more stuff with her, and then
Mm.
stuff that maybe even touches on her that then puts back on me. That's self-deprecating, but I've got probably a good. It's on marriage right now that I can expand on for sure, but looking to lay down everything I've got now in a special, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 to 4 months, and then really probably hit the reset button.
How'd you guys meet then, and how'd you pop the question?
At a show in Arizona, her
Oh,
best friend was dating a friend of mine, and they were moving the next day. He was moving her up to Sacramento where he was living, and so I had the Sunday night of my shows at the Tempe Improv, and he was like, "Let's go see my buddy." Met there, kept in touch. 5 months later, she moved to LA, started hanging out casually, and then from casual it turned to not casual, and then she moved in, and then boom. But all very not quick. But once she moved in, it just felt like she'd been living there for a while, and it was great.
awesome. Well, I know one of the last things I'll touch on and let you go. You're doing a lot of filming.
You're great at milking the clock, baby. You're a true Warriors fan. Just fucking
Oh yeah,
dribbling it out until it
I've-
hits double zeros.
I've learned from the best.
Yeah.
I know you're doing some Young Rock work right now with The Rock. So how's that been?
Yeah, I
Is-
played Vince McMahon, dude. We got 3 seasons. What do you mean
Is-
doing some work? Yeah, dude.
Well, we were supposed to do this like in December, and you said no. I got to go out to. It sounded like a random area to film at.
Memphis, Tennessee. Oof, shots fired, Jim. Wow.
Yeah,
You're like, it
just-
sounded like a made up place where there's a lot of hillbillies and cousin fucking. Yeah, dude.
a lot
Memphis,
of Russ
Tennessee.
Davises.
A lot of Russ Davises, yeah. So we're in season 3, NBC's Friday nights, a show about The Rock's life. Check it out. I'm also in Hulu's Chippendales from the maker of Pam and Tommy, which I was also in, played Jay Leno. That's on Hulu. Check those out. Check out Gaslit on Starz, starring Sean Penn and Julia Roberts. I played Nixon's press secretary. Check out Welcome to Flats. I did a couple episodes of that. Check out the Barbie movie in July with Ryan Gosling and
Oh, yeah.
Margot Robbie. I'm in that. Check out fucking my podcast. Check out my tour dates at adamraycomedy.com and check out Jim's podcast. Give me the name of it one more time.
Jim on Bass.
Guys, I'm Adam Ray, and you're watching Jim on Bass or listening. Either way, it's a home run of a show. Jim. Fuck, I don't know.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for the time. Glad we could
Dude, great to
finally
meet
do it.
you.
Yeah.
I hope you had a good time.
Yeah. When's your show again at the Punchline? I'll make sure to try and get out there.
Jim, just end the pod, dude.
I know,
You're the guy
I'm
that you're the guy at the bar where the girl like already paid her tab and she's like waiting for her Uber and you're
No,
like,
I thought you had the dates.
so do you always drink ice or no, it's March 1st through the 4th at the Punchline.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to
San
get out
Francisco. Yeah, hit
Alright.
me up. I'll get you tickets if you need.
there. Okay, cool.
But I don't know, man. You got that Lenny Wilkins money, so
Yeah. We'll see.
that was the most real sigh into a microphone I've heard in the last 6 days. You're the man, dude.
All right, man.
That was
Well, hey,
fun.
have a good night and safe travels back home.
Yeah, I'll see you in March.